Hello, my name is Lonka, and I'm a founding partner of Adept Architects. Today I'm going to talk about design for disassembly. Our studio is located in Copenhagen, Denmark, and in Hamburg, Germany, and we employ both architects, urban planner, and landscape architects. We seek to merge the different scales and the different disciplines in order to create a more profound placemaking when building projects. Our promise is to combine holistic sustainability with projects that give back to their surroundings and projects that have a human scale that focuses on creating new communities. When talking about design for disassembly, some of the main principles we use is to use very few materials, to use modular designs, to use recycle or recyclable materials, to minimize the number of different components and the different joints in our projects, to avoid chemical joints entirely and toxic substances, to make inseparable building parts from the same material, to use natural materials and avoid surface treatment, to identify and retain all the information on the components and the materials in our buildings, and to separate different building parts with varying lifetimes. So this is something all of these principles are built into this project, which is the example I'm bringing today. It's a project just outside of Copenhagen. It's a community center and a tap house connected to a microbrewery in the city of Køge. It's located on the edge of the city, in between a new urban development in a former industrial harbor and the historic city of Køge. What we tried to do was to in a way kind of use the existing buildings and the existing character of the industrial harbor to make something that would in a way bridge the gap between the historic and the new. So our building is very much based on the principle of the historic warehouses, and it tries to in a way use those simple elements that create for us these very beautiful functional pieces of simple architecture. So the same is the case for our building. It's a very modular design. It has a big roof and a very open ground floor, and it has very few materials, very few components, and it has a very flexible plan. So when it's put into its surroundings, somehow it becomes a modern or contemporary version of these historic warehouses. The building components of the building is very simple. Many of them are recycled or reused materials, and they're all built on being natural, and there's no in a way treatment of any materials in the building. They're also very light, so we have avoided the use of concrete anywhere. We have reused the existing foundations, and we've built the new building on recycled and upcycled steel. So this is the modular frame and the reused foundation, and these are all the light elements or light construction of wood that is built into the building. The building was built in only 6 months, which is also something that is in a way an advantage of this very modular strategy and modular system. And here's the plan, which is essentially on 2 floors, a fire core with the secondary functions, and then 2 spaces, one large and one smaller, that can be used flexible. On the ground floor, it's focused on tap house and a cafe, and on the upper floor, it's a meeting room and a community space for the different communities of Køge city. So this inner core is wrapped in a large shelves that kind of becomes a big part of the identity of the inner spaces. It goes through the entire height of the building, and it brings a kind of a warmth from its kind of, again, wooden construction. And also this shelf is built from modular elements that is put together so it can be disassembled in the future. So each of these spaces are facing different views that is in a way linked to their function, and this is a evening space. So this is This is facing the west, gaining the beautiful view over the harbor and gaining the west sun into the space. And surrounding the building, there's an edge zone, which works as a kind of urban seating and takes up the different heights of the surrounding territory. So essentially, this building is a contemporary warehouse that can be disassembled and reused or reassembled in a new location in the future.